Hi, I'm Janice Miller, and I'm part of the Bria Communities team. And I'm here today at the Waterford with April Fluevog, who is the owner of Simply Estate Services. And April is a downsizing expert, and today she's going to talk to us about downsizing. And this is a building that you're really familiar with. You have been in it many times and have moved residents in and out sometimes. And so it's great that you're here to kind of talk to us about the do's and don'ts of downsizing and even help us reframe what downsizing means. So a lot of us have an idea of what downsizing means, but you live it every day. You help people transition and are processing it, and you own this business that helps people do it. So what does downsizing actually mean to you?
To me, downsizing means improving quality of life and just moving on to your next chapter and doing it in a way that makes you feel comfortable.
Yeah, that's good. And from the other side, as like if I'm thinking about my parents, what can I do to make sure that downsizing and simplifying is easier for my parents?
What I usually recommend is if you have the chance that you have like a 3 or 4 week window, move and think about the things that you miss. Write it on a list and have somebody like myself go back and get them for you. I definitely recommend not going back to the home. It's very upsetting to see your home in all upheaval and stuff like that. Once you've made the decision to move. But if you have the opportunity, just make a list of the things that you miss and get those. And then once you're done, that's it. And you just move forward.
Mhm. It's a very personal experience helping somebody process their transition. And so, have you had some experiences with the people that you work with that have moved you?
Yes, I think one of the things is that people usually their biggest regret is that they didn't do it sooner.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, having more of a social life, eating better, becoming more active, and people get very, very isolated in their homes. And so usually, it's the only regret is that once they get comfortable and they get used to where they're living, that they didn't do it sooner.
We totally agree with that within Bria communities.
Yeah,
Don't wait too long. The good life is waiting for you. And sometimes I think we get held back by our things, thinking that
absolutely.
things and that our maybe our home is the only place where we can really live. When in fact there's a whole life for living. It might just look different than you think it does. Okay, so what sets you guys, Simply Estate Services, apart from your competitors? What is the difference working with you guys?
I think the difference is, first of all, we go through everything. So you'd be amazed how often things are lost or forgotten about, or things have been hidden away. The amount of things that we find that people even forgot about are pretty incredible. We save all jewelry and all photos for the family and for the person that we're helping. And then we go through our process. So our process being is that once you've transitioned, everything that's left in the home, we sell what can be sold. We recycle, we donate, and we try to leave as little in the landfill as possible. We also take care of the cleaning of the home, any maintenance that needs to be done, so that the home can be ready for sale or for rent. And taking that off of that burden off of the family. And the average family will take anywhere between 3 months to a year to clear a home. And for us, it takes between 3 days to 3 weeks.
Wow.
And that a home is a very expensive storage locker. And so the sooner that you can alleviate that, the better.
Yeah. You have a really personal experience with the storage locker that sort of serves as a warning for other people who might think, oh, this is the solution. It's really cheap to just rent this for however many, like $50 a month or whatever. You have a different experience than that is good to share.
Absolutely. And one of the things was my mother went from a very large home to a townhouse and then into Sunridge, which is a Bria community. Doing what I do, I begged her not to have a storage locker and that I would help her get rid of things. And she chose not to. In 3.5 years, she spent over $27,000 in storage fees. When I went through the storage locker, it was for about $2,000 worth of content. And there is nothing that she missed. And she never went back to the storage locker.
Okay, you've talked about this experience with your mom and how that kind of drove you crazy. What are some of the other things that you see going on in people's lives as they do this downsizing transition that also drive you crazy?
One of the things that drives me crazy is unrealistic estate expectations. Because you purchase something for value. Say, for example, a dining room suite. You may have purchased that dining room suite for $20,000 in 1980. That has not held value and may not even be sellable. Even auction houses won't take it. The other thing that drives me crazy is some of our competitors, we frequently see when they go to the home and they start clearing it, they don't return things to the family or to the owner. And I find that really hurtful. It's really important to me that we return all family photos, and that way they can be put onto USB sticks, they can be distributed to the family. The other thing is jewelry. When we find jewelry, we return that to the family and we return that to the owner. It's not fair that someone goes into a home and just thinks that they can pocket those items. It's very important to us that we don't have anybody work for us and go into somebody's home that we wouldn't allow the keys, like I wouldn't give the keys to my own home to. And it can be challenging, but it's very, very important to us. And that's something we hold really near and dear.
I imagine that's important because you can get scenarios where people have hidden stuff, and then if they're not there to let you know where it's hidden, then you're discovering as you're going through the cleaning process. And if there's no integrity there, that could be a big loss for a
I
family.
actually only use one housekeeping company because when she finds things, she returns them to me. The amount of jewelry she has found underneath bathroom sinks on ledges or tucked away in places that you would never think of, or just by moving a piece of carpet or something, the amount of stuff that she has found is absolutely unbelievable. And that's one of the things too, is it's so important to go through absolutely everything because you don't want to realize that you had put a piece of jewelry into a pocket of a jacket and all of a sudden that went to a thrift store.
Yeah. But you're thinking about those things.
One of the things that tends to happen is that as you get going and you've been doing it for a while and people get tired, they just start throwing everything out. So more goes into the landfill and precious items are lost.
Thank you so much, April, for coming in and sharing some of the details about downsizing. It's a world that you understand really well and that is so intimidating for so many people. And you've just shone a lot of light into this subject for us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.